I caught my wife with my boss.
Oh, boy.
So I, 39 male, just caught my wife, 38 female, of 14 years, together 17 years, cheating on me with her district manager of Aramark Refreshments for about 2 years now. 2 years. That ain't just cheating, that's a full-blown affair. Before I get into details, there is a backstory to all of this. I want you all to get a full picture and decide if she was entitled to cheat, or did I just pay off a debt I owed? Entitled to cheat. I would say the only time that someone is entitled to cheat is
never.
Is if you cheated first. And even then,
Just break up normally?
you know, like payback.
Well, you went outside our marriage, now I am.
Okay. In 2012, I took my wife to get her tonsils removed at the hospital. They gave me her belongings as she couldn't take them inside the surgery room. Her phone kept buzzing. I took it upon myself to see who was blowing her up, and I read tons of inappropriate emails with another man at work. She was reading 50 Shades of Grey at the time.
Ooh, spicy.
And was referring to the man as her Christian Grey, something she would also call me. I was pissed and wanted answers, but unfortunately she couldn't talk after surgery, so on the drive home, I handed her a piece of paper with a pen to answer all the questions I had, and she wrote, "It was nothing but flirting." Still emotional cheating though. I don't buy that. If someone is like talking in emails like that, imagine what they're saying in person. I grabbed my 2-year-old and briefcase of clothes and went from California to Arizona on a mini weekend getaway with my support team, my best friend and his wife, to stay away from her for a while. Once back, she informed me she deleted her email and it won't happen again.
That's what they all say.
Okay. Fast forward a few years, and I could never get over the fact that she would betray me the way she did. I wanted to get even and felt it was the only way to move forward. I met a client who showed me some attention.
Interesting.
We started texting, and while my wife would go out with her friends and party, I would secretly leave my son with my mom and go see this woman. Oh, interesting.
Just break up.
We had an affair and I eventually fell in love with this other woman. After about 9 months, my affair partner tells me she's pregnant. First thing that came to my head was playing Usher's confession song and actually confessing to my wife, which I did. She took it pretty well as she told me she had an idea and God was preparing her for that moment. I told her I wanted a divorce and would like to start a new life with this other woman. She told me we can work things out, go to church more and get therapy from the pastor and all would be great. How could I say no to that?
No.
I had to break the news to the pregnant affair partner, who was under the impression that we were going to start a new life together, and got bad news that we weren't. Fast forward a few months, and I found out my wife is now pregnant, 3 months apart from the affair partner. She wanted to feel more secured over the other woman, so she basically forced us to have another child together.
Yikes!
Okay. It's December 2014 and I went from having 1 kid to 3 kids in the blink of an eye. It's been crazy, but I'm there for all my kids. Now let's jump over to the present time. Wife and I have had our fair share of bumps on the road, but I truly am loving the way we are raising our beautiful children. I've come a long way and have been faithful and committed to rebuilding our relationship. I go out of town for work from time to time, as does she. I just found out over the last 2 years, she's been having an affair with her boss. Huh. Okay, this seems like a kind of like tit for tat sort of cheating situation. Like, are we sure we're not poly? The circle of tit for tat has already been closed. The tit has already been tatted. Every happy hour event after work, every time she spent doing overtime, every trip to San Diego or Valentine's Day in Portland, he was there keeping her warm in a hotel room. Yeah, and 2 years is a long time. That is a full-blown relationship. Here's how I found out. She went for drinks after work and I asked, "What time do you plan on being home?" She tells me 9 p.m. 9 p.m. comes around and she's nowhere in sight. I call her and nothing. I get a text with a picture of her girl coworker and it's informing me she just grabbed a few more drinks before heading out. I found it weird that she could text me but can't have a call. Yeah, no. It's because she was with someone that she shouldn't have been. I zoom into the picture, into a napkin that was on the table and see where she's at. I drive 45 minutes from home to look for her, and there she is, at the bar with her boss, with his arms around her. I walk up and they were both shocked to see me.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
She was quick to say,
Okay, bye.
I'm like, bye, but I just got here. Did I interrupt something?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett.
She proceeds to tell me she's closed up her tab and she's leaving. I stay with her boss. The boss is drunk at this point and he's talking to me about his wife. Ooh, okay. He tells me that she doesn't pay attention to him and how they do whatever they want. This is the first time I meet this guy and he's getting personal. Yeah, because he's trying to justify what he's doing. He asked me if I've ever caught my wife cheating.
I think you just did.
And I proceeded to tell him that I haven't. But if I do, it wouldn't be a pretty sight. He orders another drink and I see my wife calling him on his phone multiple times. I found that very odd. In the middle of his drink, he gets up and leaves to what I thought was the bathroom, but he actually leaves the bar. I take off home and I have tons of questions for my wife. Her response was,
I'm sorry, I should have told you he was with us as well.
I've never been the jealous type and a friend told me to check my records. Oh my God. There is the garbage truck outside. A garbage truck coming to take out the trash. My heart dropped when I found out she's been talking to him Monday to Friday after work for 15 to 30 minutes at a time. I confronted her with all the phone bills extending to 2 years ago, and she informed me that after work, she has end of day reporting to do, and he needs those numbers to report to his boss. It was such a good lie. That is a good lie. Keep in mind, she's not on salary and clocks in and out. So from an HR point of view, reporting numbers after clocking out would be considered illegal. I need proof of their conversations, but how? I decide to record their conversations. I'm not gonna mention how I did it, but once I heard what was said, my heart broke into a million pieces. She had conversations with her own cousin talking about how much he brings excitement to her life. And it's not only the spicy time, but how funny and goofy he is. She talked about how dumb I was to believe the end of day calls were real. I don't know if that's dumb. I think that's a very good lie. My wife said how they would have to lay low for a while and
Where there's a will, there's a way.
and then there's the conversation between the two of them where they talked about how much they loved one another and how they make each other's feel. Straight caught. The audacity of this woman to like demand that you stay with her while also then cheating. This is real toxic, dude. I knew I was furious but didn't know what to do. You could have gone off and had a happy life with your affair partner, but she made you stay. I knew I was furious, but I didn't know what to do. Do I go to their HR? My wife just got a promotion. Should I tell them it's because she's having spicy time with her boss? I did the only thing I could think of. I contacted his wife. I did a ton of research with some help, of course, from a good buddy that loves drama. Contacted his wife on LinkedIn and waited for her call. She did, and I told her everything I knew. Yeah, I'm interested to know if because he said,
like she lets me do whatever I want.
Does she know that? We put dates together and they've been having a blast for years now while we were both being played for fools. We did a 4-way call, but they denied it even after the recordings. They both finally came clean. Now I have to ask myself, do I stay for the kids or leave her because my debts for my wrongdoings have been paid? She's begging for me back, but I've moved out and picked up the kids to take them to school every morning. She still works under him and swears it won't happen again. Yeah, but she's already said that. And then not only did it happen again, but it was like 2 years of betrayal. This is not just like a one-time slip up. This is like multiple times. And not only did she slip up, she prevented you from moving on and having a life with someone else while at the same time having her cake and eating it too. So she still works under him, swears it won't happen again. But how can I trust that after 2 years of loving another man? She let him in her heart and pants. Is this my chance to leave her and start a fresh new life, or do I stick around to make sure my kids grow up with an undivided family?
One of them does.
Is there hope for this toxic, unhealthy marriage? No. Should I get the district manager fired for his wrongdoings in all of this?
Yes.
What should I do next? I know 2 wrongs don't make a right. I'm here for advice if anyone has successfully kept their family together for the sake of their children.
Just leave. Leave.
I mean, listen, I don't necessarily have any experience with that. I do know that staying with her, like she's already proved to you that she can't keep her promises. Like you said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I find it interesting that like it's clear from her conversations with her boss that she's either planning on leaving or she makes him think, she makes her boss think that she's planning on leaving. And yet now when confronted with the choice, now all of a sudden she doesn't want to leave. You've already given a second chance. Fool me once.
Shame on you.
Fool me twice.
Why? What the heck? That's so mean.
And like, yes, your kids are gonna grow up kind of in a broken home. At the same time, you also wanna have like a good model for love. You wanna show them what love really looks like. And I don't think that you'll be able to do that if you stay. Yeah, she also like baby trapped him. You both did wrong, okay? I feel like you really need a fresh start with someone and end this kind of circle of toxicity and like cheating on each other and like lying and like, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you're ever gonna trust her again. I don't think that's a healthy marriage at all. Here's the thing. First of all, you have a very toxic relationship with this woman. This is a bad situation to raise your kids up in. I agree. No matter what happens, the kids will feel this. Yeah, they'll be able to tell.
Why are mommy and daddy fighting all the time? Why are mommy and daddy like not touchy-feely? They never kiss. Like,
I would have a problem kissing someone that I don't trust. They will absorb it and they will think that's how relationships are supposed to be and will be doomed to have terrible relationships in the future. If you want to do the right thing, even though you screwed up before, she screwed up before you. So you had been on an even playing field even after each of you cheating. But now she's gone on and had another 2 years with this guy. What you need to do is get a lawyer and get her served at work and make sure you retain all your relationship information of her and him. Present that to the lawyer. You need to go gray rock. For those of you who don't know what gray rocking is, it's when you're dealing with like you don't react, you know, you're just kind of like, okay. Yep. Yellow rocking's a little different. Yellow rocking's kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. You need to gray rock and 180 on her and she should move out while you stay with the kids. OP responds, love your inputs. Sometimes you get so used to a person that you can't really picture yourself without them. She was with him a day before my birthday. Day of my birthday, we took the family to Disneyland. Found out the next day about all of this. It just sucks. I understand, and believe me, like this hits really close to home in terms of like people that I know that are in relationships that are, you just get so comfortable. Your lives are so intertwined. And yeah, your life's gonna blow up. Life as you know it is going to change. Maybe it could change for the better. That's my advice. And it seems like most people in the comments agree. This next one is from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Would I be the a-hole if I stopped babysitting my husband's female friends' kids? Friends is in quotations. I will put some context before I try explaining the situation I'm having an issue with. My husband and I have been together for 17 years, married for 14 years, and we have 2 kids. About 4 years into our marriage, I found out my husband had cheated on me. I debated for months if we could work through it or end our marriage. We ended up trying to fix things. My husband quit drinking and we started therapy. I thought we were doing good, but he has this bad habit of trying to come to other women's rescue. Interesting. Our therapist told him to stop, that married men shouldn't have female friends, and that if he wants friends, find other males. I think it's okay for men to have female friends, but like going over and above like that,
coming to the rescue.
that's something that their partner should be doing, not someone else's husband. My husband said that he understood. It's been a few years since all this happened and things were going well, so now to the reason I'm posting. My husband had come to me a couple weeks ago and was talking about a woman at work. He told me that her and her boyfriend broke up, that he was threatening to call CPS on her if she leaves her kids, 5 and 9 years old, home alone while she goes to work. My husband and her work 3rd shift. Needless to say, then he told me, I told you could watch them since you are here and you will be sleeping anyways. Then he stated, but that's only if she has to. I said, we'll see. Last week, Sunday night rolled around and her kids showed up to our house and I was told that the school had called CPS on her and she guesses she can't leave her kids home alone all night. I've been watching them all week, which has been easy enough. They're good kids. Okay. Now, what is upsetting me started on the Friday before she showed up. I was relaxing on the couch, watching something on my phone, and he stood in front of me and flung his hand while saying,
Must be nice to be so lazy.
he spent the weekend making digs at me. Ooh, no. This is him trying to justify why he's cheating. Out loud to you. How do people justify cheating? They look at their partners and they think,
Oh, she's let herself go. Oh, she's so lazy. Oh, she never does anything.
they start comparing their affair partners with their actual partner.
In my head, she's ruined the marriage just as much as I have.
You know? To be honest, it's not new behavior, so I usually just laugh at him, then ignore him. I know I'm not lazy. I work, I clean, I take care of the house, and I run the kids all over for their school activities. Okay, so this was before you took care of some other woman's kids? All of my work vacation is used down to the last hour on my kids' activities. I don't want to miss any of their games. He does get to me. I have to list all the stuff I do so I can remind myself that he's wrong. Ooh.
Babe, that's not good.
That sounds like little manipulation there. He's definitely like changing your perception of who you are and making you feel bad about yourself. It doesn't always work. There are times I need my sister to talk to me about it. Then on Monday night, he was telling me a story about work and how him and the guys talked about who you would do if you had to, and they asked each other for both genders. I asked what his answers were, and he told me where I had to pick someone my age. So he told me he picked her. I was like, that's messed up and weird, but I was like, whatever. He said that to you? How the did that come up in conversation? Who just like has a conversation with their wife where they tell them that they would want to sleep with someone that they know that's not their wife?
That's weird. That's weird.
Second incident was our daughter snuck a kitten in the house. I told her she had to get her dad's permission. He hates cats. He's a dog person. I figured it was going to be a bit of a fight, but he just let her keep it and told her she's in charge of taking care of it. That weirded me out. He complains about the cats nearly every day, but we took the win. Interesting. Trying to see what you see here. If it's like abnormal behavior, maybe he's trying to like get in good with his kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the cat thing's about, but it's an interesting change of behavior. What really sent me over the edge was what happened Thursday morning. I got up and got the 4 kids ready for school while also getting ready for work. I hadn't had much of a chance to talk with my husband that week due to kids' sports, his work meeting, and working different shifts. So when he got home a bit earlier than normal, I was like, yes, we get to talk a little. We talked about our kids' after school activities. Then his coworker walked in and her kids yelled, "Mom's home." It was cute and funny until I noticed my husband decided to play along with a big grin. I was not very happy with him talking about another woman like that. So what did your husband do? He kind of played along with the fact that he's their dad? Is that what happened? I was not very happy with him talking about another woman like that. After that, he completely ignored me and started talking to her, and they started talking about how they were going somewhere next week after the kids go to school. He playing in your face, girl. I asked him twice, what's up? And he just ignored me and kept talking with her. I stood there for maybe 2 minutes like a ghost. I left for work. He normally says, love you, have a good day, but this time he just said bye. Ooh. He didn't want to say it in front of her. I didn't know what to do, so I called my sister and she told me this was messed up and he shouldn't be white knighting another woman. Yeah. Even the like being a shoulder to cry on thing is a bit weird. You know what I mean? It is not the responsibility of someone else's husband to like take care of your kids and like come to your rescue. And I understand that she's in a position, but it's not his responsibility or your responsibility for that matter. I haven't said anything to him yet, but I keep going back and forth. I'm not sure if I'm reading into it too much because of our past issues or if there are some vibes that I'm picking up on. I don't know if I should listen to my gut or not. I think I'm too much. I'm tired, haha.
You listen to your gut, okay?
I mean, you don't have outright proof that he's cheating, but you really need to set some boundaries here. You already did this woman a solid by babysitting her kids for a week. I think that you need to put your foot down. Here's the conversation you can have. Listen, I understand that your friend is in a bind and I sympathize, but I'm uncomfortable with looking after her children and with you coming to her rescue. I would appreciate it if you didn't burden me with this. People in the comments are like, yeah, he's cheating. We don't have proof of that. I also think that, but until you actually have proof, I just find it really weird that he's so willing to come to her rescue, you know? Like, why is it up to your husband to save her? I don't get it. My gut feeling and opinion is that he's cheating or he's going to. He seems to be putting her before you in many ways, that part. His comments are not helping either. Stop watching her kids. It's not yours or his responsibility to do so. And you're watching her kids while he's having an affair with her. End it. No more babysitting. She can figure out her own childcare. She's using this opportunity to get closer to your husband and he is allowing it. He is enjoying that the coworker is owing him a favor. He's about to cash it. The comment about having to pay pick her. Basic grooming behavior. He is a get a lawyer and divorce that piece of. I see what you guys are saying. I just feel like he's getting like too comfortable toying with you and like seeing what you'll be okay with and like really pushing the boundaries of like what's acceptable in a healthy marriage. And he's just playing in your face like that. Like I think it's a sign that he's doing much worse behind closed doors, or he's planning to. They always kind of like test the waters, right? Slowly start to introduce new behavior, see what you'll put up with. And it's so common, honestly. Like a lot of people do this. Sometimes it's more like, sometimes it's a little innocent, but it's like you really have to nip it in the bud. Like the minute that I hear something that's like sort of testing to see like, would she be okay with this? It's like, no, I'm not okay with it. But that had to be learned, right? The people pleaser in me is like, I guess I could let this slide, but like I've been around the block. I know it when people test the waters. I don't allow that. Ma'am, you are nannying his girlfriend's children for free, I might add. Oh, not for free. Yes, you are doing that, but no. Nope, screw that. Even if he isn't cheating, he's being insanely disrespectful to you. Do you want your kids to think having to keep track of their activities to prove themselves to their spouses is healthy and normal? Because it's not. Yeah, the fact that you're like keeping tabs and lists and he's making you question your reality. And the fact that he told you he would sleep with her if given the chance is just another dig at you to keep you down. Yeah, the audacity to say that to your face. Wow. He shouldn't have said it to his coworkers and especially shouldn't have rubbed it in your face. Let's look at the facts. 1, he constantly makes you doubt yourself and your worth. 2, he doesn't respect you in the home or in front of his coworkers. 3, he's cozying up to a very vulnerable woman and making her rely on him. 4, oh yeah, he's already effing cheated. Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe even at this point, it's like not even worth a conversation. Maybe it really is at this point, just take it for what it is. He's disrespecting you in your own home and you're allowing it. Okay, so there is an update. OP updated in the comments. I read through most of the comments. I appreciate everyone who gave their opinion. I decided to talk to my husband and I stayed stern, mom voice, and to the point. I started with, I don't want to watch her kids anymore. She can switch shifts and have her ex pay for childcare per their court order. I swear, the look on his face, he immediately apologized. He had no clue that her ex and her had the court order. He said, no, you don't have to watch her kids. She can definitely figure it out for herself. He also informed me she did put a transfer in for a different shift. Then I told him how he ignored me Thursday and how it made me feel very upset. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I told him it made me feel like the past was repeating. He apologized and said he never meant to make me feel that way and he didn't hear me when I tried talking. Because he was more worried about what this other woman was saying? Like, I proceeded to then tell him I don't think it's appropriate for him to talk about coworkers in a locker room way at work and how that is disrespectful to me, his partner, and the people they are talking about. He then informed me he wasn't the one who started it. Another coworker was the one going around asking people.
Okay, and?
You don't have to answer though. You want to know one thing that I like love about my little brother so much? Like literally just a side note. Like me and my brother fight a lot, but I remember very distinctly we were on a cruise and we had made some friends on the cruise and people were going around saying like,
Who would you like to switch siblings with if you could?
Everybody went around and like said,
oh, you know, like you seem really cool. I'd like to have you as a sister or whatever.
He said, I don't want to switch. I like my sister. It's as simple as that. Honestly, I have remembered that. We must have been, I think he was maybe 10 at the time and I was like 15. That was literally one of the nicest things that he's ever said. He was so respectful in that moment. He didn't care about appeasing or playing some sort of game with these like random people or whatever, or his friends that he had made. He didn't want to do that. You don't have to answer the question. Oh, someone else started. Give me a break, dude. Like, I told him he didn't have to participate. He then told me how the peer pressure got to him. I stood my ground on this one though. I told him he shouldn't be doing that. I don't know if on this one we will see eye to eye. He just said he would no way be interested in her that way. Lastly, I told him I need him to stop solving other women's problems and that if he wants to solve a woman's problems, he can solve mine. That's on period. We laughed and he apologized again and said he never meant to hurt me while he was just trying to help a coworker out. He said he was glad I finally talked to him and told me I needed to tell him when I have feelings about things. I feel silly.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
I should have just talked to him to begin with. He promised to spend more time with me. Oh, and finally the plans I heard was about him taking her and her chickens to another coworker who butchers chickens.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
He said he will just tell her where to drop them off and have her do it solo. I feel so silly. It was literally a bunch of misunderstandings that I strung together. I think I'm going to reach out to a therapist to work on some of my insecurities and past issues.
Oh, that's not very nice.
I feel maybe I need to work on me and fix the lens in which I see my husband's actions. I did learn from this that I rely too heavily on him and I overread things. As for his comments toward me, we will be working on it. Okay. I guess he was saying them as jokes, but they didn't feel like jokes. We will work on talking nicer to each other. If anything else does happen, I will let you know, but I have hope that this is the end of the situation. Okay. I'm happy to hear that you guys talked. I don't like that you're talking about yourself and your insecurities, okay? It's not your fault that he's treating you with disrespect in multiple ways, okay? That doesn't make you insecure. Did he tell you that those are your insecurities, or did you come to that conclusion on your own? Because kind of sounds like he's saying, putting ideas in your head about you being insecure. I think this is a good start, but I don't think this is the end of the issue. I don't think that you should completely forget about what he's done. People in the comments are just saying okay, so he has an excuse for everything. He's making it your fault by saying that you're insecure. Don't go to a therapist and say that, oh, I'm insecure. Go to a therapist and find out why this person actually said it. Talk about why you devalue yourself so much that you allow him to do it to you too. I don't feel like this situation is over. I think that you shouldn't forget about any of this. Keep it in your back pocket and keep your wits about you, because there are some red flags here that I don't like. So would you be the a-hole if you stopped babysitting your husband's friends' female kids? No, you wouldn't, but you are being kind of an a-hole to yourself. Saskatchewan!